Welcome to the Art of the Day portion of this week's lecture. First, we will start with our course schedule. I would like to review that. We are entering into the 15th week. That means we have one lecture next week, and then we have your final exam, which is actually going to be a project that you have to work on with Instagram. But one thing I want to point out is that at the end of this week, your museum visit essay is due. If you haven't started writing it, get on it. Don't run out of time. I don't want any short or not very well thought out papers. I have graded everybody's midterm exam, and if you haven't already, look at your grade and look for the comments that I left for you on your paper. Lots of people did really well on the midterm exam, but lots of people did not so well. And so we need better writing for this paper. This paper that is due at the end of the week is worth more than any other project or assignment for the entire semester. So get on it, take it seriously, and email me if you have any questions. This week we are talking about video art and performance art. So these are our video and performance artists. The reason why video comes after the week after photography is because what video is a string of photographs. You can think of video as an animation. So when you go see a movie, you're watching like 10,000 photographs stream in front of your eyes, and that creates an animation. And so that seemed like a logical progression, but I will go ahead and start reviewing what we went over last week, and then I will do the Art of the Day presentations. So, photography, the creation of images achieved by exposing light to a photosensitive surface. A photosensitive surface such as film are surfaces that undergo chemical changes when exposed to light. Therefore, the surface records the light. Photography is a rather, in quote, new technology. Though the camera is quite old, what we call a pinhole camera was described back by the Greeks, Aristotle and Euclid. But the camera that we really use, the device, is new-ish. So consider the history of painting and sculpture and drawing. The photograph came about in 1825, and this is the oldest known photograph here. And as evidence that the ancients had a concept of the pinhole camera, in the Renaissance, we had artists such as Johannes Vermeer up in Amsterdam, using a camera-like device to paint photoreal paintings. So he really pioneered that. So there is your large camera obscura, something you can walk inside, kind of like a pinhole camera. It's just a dark room with a hole in the wall. This is a device that is similar to this, but there's a mirror involved, and this artist is able to trace whatever this lens is pointed at. So we talk about the cameras and relate the camera to the eyeball. Then I go down different types of photographs, and these are historic methods of photography. I tried to do some of these in chronological order. The first real successful photographs, in my opinion, were called the daguerreotypes. These are all daguerreotypes. And then there came a new emulsion, photosensitive emulsion called Van Dyke, and you get this brown sepia tone, kind of like the Wild West. And then you got the cyanotype, which is blue. I talk about photograms. What a photogram is setting an object against a photosensitive paper. So that would be a photogram. This is a photogram, and exposing that to light. Negative photography. The important thing about negative photography is that you are not producing the photo within the camera, this being the photo or the finished product. So like this, there would be the paper is in the back of the camera being exposed to light. You get a one-of-a-kind, one-time print. But negative photography, you created a negative image, which allows you to expose this onto multiple pieces of photosensitive paper. So you can make copies and additions and just reproduce on a large scale the photography. And we spoke a bit about digital photography, and then I showed you some photographs. So this is our review from last week. Let's go ahead and jump into our Art of the Day presentations on video and performance. Okay. So here we have Jolene talking about a video artist named Pipilotti Rist. Pipilotti Rist makes a lot of installation style artworks, meaning artwork that is sculptural but environmental, something you can walk inside, and she's creating an environment for you to exist within. Pipilotti Rist was born in 1962 in Switzerland. She attended the Institute of Applied Arts in Vienna from 1982 to 1986 to study graphic design and illustration. She then studied audiovisual communications and photography at Switzerland's School of Design in Basel from 86 to 88. She is best known for her creation of video and installation art. She currently lives and works in Zurich, Switzerland with her spouse and son. A statement from a critic named Randy Kennedy. Very early on, Rist began to define a visual world that has now become unmistakably her own. Blaring color, immersive viewing, environments, the body often filmed from just millimeters away to transform it into a near-abstract landscape of flesh. Smooth and wrinkled, forested with hair and freckles, a point of view that soars, plunges, and twirls. That is an excellent description of her work. All right, here's something from someone named Calvin Tompkins. From the single-channel videos that Rist started making in the 80s when she was still in college to the immersive multi-channel installations that she creates today, she has done more to expand the video medium than any artist since the Korean-born visionary Nam June Paik. Nam June Paik was, of course, a great video artist. So this is an example of a video installation where Pipilotti Rist designed the furniture and projected onto the walls. Ever is All Over, 1997, made with multi-projector video and sound installations. Dimensions variable. What dimensions variable means is that the installation or the artwork can be installed in different environments. And because of that, each environment has different dimensions, and the dimensions are variable. Herbstitslos, made with video installation, 4 projectors and DVD players, 2 sound systems, part of a wooden house, a branch from a maple tree, a table, and 3 chairs. So I see part of the house. I see a projection on the house. I see the table and chairs. These are cool. All or Nothing 2010. Made with film, video installation, metal triptych with 3 LCD screens and 3 integrated players. So what a triptych means is it's the artwork, one artwork done in 3 parts. So this is the metal triptych, this metal frame, and it frames the 3 artworks. And those 3 artworks, I suppose, are made with 3 LCD screens. Grobstein, 1995. Made with video installation, a marble plate, integrated media player, video film with sound, a plastic fruit crate, and plastic fruit. I have never seen this artwork before, so good job for impressing me. And I want to try to figure out what's going on here. I'm guessing there is a video within this little rectangle, maybe buried beneath. And this, you're looking through this glass shape in order to see the video, and it probably is really obscuring the image. I Couldn't Agree With You More, 1999. Made with video installation using 2 projectors, 2 players, and an audio system. Dimensions variable. You know, I haven't been following these links. Let's see what we got here. That's interesting, seeing this guy. Awesome. Cool clip. So I am not sure what's going on. Looks like she's in a grocery store spinning around. And there's a weird, maybe distortion going on with added video. All right. Where is it? I'm Not the Girl Who Misses Much, 1986. Sip My Ocean with 2-channel video installation and sound. That looks like a cool video. Wow, these are great. All right, here's her opinion. I'm not a big fan of Pippilotti Rist's artwork, even though her artwork is very intriguing and unlike any artwork I've seen before. Although she creates art in such a unique and creative way, I do not find her artwork moving. It was difficult for me to connect with the pieces and to find a deeper meaning and purpose behind her artwork. However, I admire how she is able to generate the ideas that drive her to construct her artwork, because her artwork truly is eccentric. Yes, it is. All right, let's find another video to watch. How about this one? Oh yeah, I've already shown you this one. But I didn't see it in the installation, so this is cool. Come on.
Somebody like you. No,
Alright, well, I might need to let that load for a minute.
I don't wanna fall in love. No, I don't wanna fall in love with you. With you. What a wicked game to play to make me feel this way.
This is really cool. I've not seen this installation before. I prefer this more than a video that I'm going to share in the lecture. Well, Jolene, I think we're going to have to agree to disagree on Pippilotti Rist. I think that these videos are really great, but every semester it actually turns into this debate on the quality of her videos. But I don't see it. I mean, I really like them. Well, thanks for the great presentation and the links to the videos. I'm going to move on. All right. This guy, I'm going to warn you, and I'm sorry for making you do a presentation on Ryan Trecartin, Jennifer, but it's pretty hard sometimes to watch his videos. I'd like to get your opinions on some of this, viewers, people in the class, but I'll prepare you. It can be tough. All right, Ryan Trecartin is 40 years old. He is an American artist and filmmaker. He studied at the Rhode Island School of Design and graduated with Bachelor of Fine Arts in 2004. He is known for video art, sculpture, and new media art. Okay, we might not... Yeah, you're not going to have to sit through video clips. Maybe I can pull up a video so we know what we're talking about. But these are the... This is sort of the aesthetic of his videos. And he also provides a viewing experience similar to Pippilotti Rist, where there is furniture or something in the room in order to view it. So I imagine the viewer is invited to lay on this bed, put on some headphones, and watch the video, which I think is kind of cool. Some more video installation. All right, so, okay, Ryan Trecartin's art is overwhelming. He has so many things going on in his videos. I personally wouldn't watch any of his videos. I didn't like any of his video performance art. Yeah, I get that. Okay, well, let's show a quick example of Ryan Tricarton's video. Let's check out. In the lecture, I'm going to force you to sit through a little bit of his stuff. So we'll watch just a little clip right now. It's pretty wild stuff, and it's kind of out there. So I feel for you, Jennifer, but I've seen his videos in installations like this before. I hate them. I hate them. I hate them. I hate them. But there's something that keeps me going back for more. So, again, I am curious about other people's opinions on Ryan Tricarton. So thanks for enduring that, Jennifer. All right. We're going to do our last Art of the Day presentation on the artist Chris Burden. Now, Chris Burden is a performance artist and a video artist. He's just an all-around general artist. At least he was. He died. But you'll be, I'd say, shocked by some of these things these performances that he did. But, well, I guess that's it. Let's get started. All right, so Chris Burden is American. He was born April 11th, 1946 in Boston, Massachusetts. He died May 10th, 2015 in Topanga, California. Cause of death, melanoma. Burden studied for his BA in Visual Arts, Physics, and Architecture at Pomona College and received his MFA at the University of California, Irvine. A critic, Jonathan Jones, writes, "He was one of the most pertinent and poetic artists of his age. Burden must never be coldly written up in history books as a pioneer of performance art. He was that, but so much more. His choices were so powerful and necessary that it seemed to be his own life he was putting on the line." Another critic, artist, Larry Bell, "I told all the students that whatever they did, it now had to include as much effort as Chris had put into that thing. I thought he was phenomenal, a magician." All right. So let's look these one at a time. We have Medusa's Head, 1990. This is a sculpture that Chris Burden made. So plywood, steel, cement, rock, just a giant form. And there are, if you look closely, there are toy train tracks. And I believe the trains might actually be driving around this thing. So that's cool. This is one of the really shocking things. It looks like we had a little GIF that's not working, but I can talk about this here. This performance is called Shoot from 1971, where Chris Burden, in a gallery, invited his friend who who came back from the Vietnam War, who was a sharpshooter in the Vietnam War, to shoot him in the arm. So in this gallery exhibition, he is there, and this dude shoots him in the arm. He meant to just graze him, but, you know, he was a couple inches off and went right through his bone and broke his arm. This is another crazy performance where called Transfixed in 1974, where Chris Burden was literally crucified to a Volkswagen Beetle, where there were nails driven through his hands and his feet. A couple more of his sculptures. This is a kinetic sculpture, Metropolis. What we have here are Hot Wheels cars that are scooting around and going over this big city track. Like hundreds of Hot Wheels cars just flying around. I'm not sure what's going on in this sculpture, but there is a machine sort of thing happening. A beehive bunker. Concrete, steel rebar, steel wire, cast iron manhole cover. So this is just a sculpture of stacked concrete. This is one of my favorite public artworks ever made. And so it's called Beam Drop in Hoteam. I'm not sure that word. Where the artist had construction crews, dig a hole and fill that hole with cement. And then he had someone with a crane that was lifting up these giant steel beams and just letting go and dropping them into the pit. And wherever they stuck, they stuck. And that is the sculpture. Submarines of USA. So these are all cardboard models of submarines. This is called the Flying Steamroller, 1996. So this is another kinetic sculpture where there's a counterbalance here that elevates this steamroller above the ground, and this arm spins, and it's just moving. Just floating above the ground. This video clip, you're going to see this in the lecture. It is called Through the Night Softly, and it is like 15 seconds of him in his underwear with his hands tied behind his back, crawling over broken glass. It is brutal, and there's a really interesting story about it. So you're going to have to watch the lecture to hear more. All right, the opinion on Chris Burden. Chris Burden was very different from other artists. I like his work. It's very unique. He just really didn't care what others thought of him, which I like. He was also very reckless, which I found very interesting, and it sure does catch people's attention. Pretty sure he made a lot of people anxious during his video performances. Watching his Through the Night Softly video performance, he had me covering my eyes because, ouch, he was just so reckless and seemed like he didn't care for his life with the things he performed. But overall, his art and video performances were very, very interesting to learn about. I totally agree. Chris Burden is one of my all-time favorites, so especially in the realm of performance, and I love the object making. I would never do these things. I would never allow myself to be crucified to a Volkswagen Beetle or shot in the arm. And I would never crawl bare-chested over broken glass. But Chris Burden did it, and I think it's actually pretty great. Well, thank you very much, Cindy. And that is the end of the Art of the Day lecture. Don't forget to get started on your writing for your museum essay, which is due at the end of this week.